Good morning, everyone. I'm having a little trouble setting up. Well, no, I'm not. I'm just taking time to set myself up properly. There we go. Get my cards. Good morning. I'm just getting set up here to do our angel prayer readings. We're using Kyle Gray's deck here this morning. And I think I'm all set. Good morning, Shahan. How are you? Okay, let me I think I'm all set here. Okay, great. I just have to grab my coffee over here. And I am just like losing my visuals here, so I'm not sure what's going on. But, okay. All right, so, oops, sorry. Somebody told me that when I put the crystals on the table, it's noisy, so I don't want to cause anybody to be uncomfortable with a loud noise. So I will say good morning to everyone. It's a beautiful day here in Tennessee. The sun is shining after we've had a couple of days of rain, and everything looks so fresh and clean. So let me just draw our cards out here, and we shall see. Everybody hear me okay? So Jahan, I'm going to put you first on the list. Anybody who's here, welcome. Sunday mornings, I love to connect and just see what the cards have to say to lift us up and inspire us. And good morning, Dorcas. Because sometimes the world can be so challenging, it can be hard to keep a positive mindset, especially when things around you are a little bit challenging. And so today, I do want to remind all of you, as well as myself, that self-love is the way to go in terms of creating connections that will last us a lifetime. So I'm having a tiny bit of technical difficulty here, so I'm going to go ahead and read the cards and see. Hopefully everything will work out for everyone and that you can hear me well. So Jahan, I'll start with you. No, first I want to draw a card just for the reading and see what's the theme. What does the universe have for all of us in the collective of people looking to have more love deeply experiences in life, right? So let's take a peek for the collective, and we're looking at the miracle of nature. It's funny how I mentioned first thing when we came on today about the fact that it's a sunny day coming after rain. And again, that's a nature reference. I would say that for me personally, the universe has been working me over big time in the last, I would say, 7 months. I'm going through some changes. I moved and had a lot of worries and concerns that were part of moving to a new country. Oh, well, it's my old country, but just the adjustments after living 4 years in a different country. And so nature has continued to be, I will call it a healer, mainly because it's very hard for me to worry when I'm outdoors. I do have 2 dogs, and I try to walk them every day about 2 miles a day. And there are days I don't get out, and I'm not perfect at it, but I just have learning that no matter how busy I am, nature always brings me to a good spot in my heart. I feel grateful for the animals. Hi, Miraculous, welcome. I feel grateful for the animals I see. Yesterday, there was a flock of 7 turkey vultures that were flying in a pattern over my home while I was walking. And turkey vultures are something that I saw in Mexico a lot. I lived on the side of a cliff where the birds of prey would fly by right in front of my face, and they were so beautiful, even though they're kind of an ugly bird. But anyway, I received this on our behalf, all of us today who are going to be listening in on how to connect to more loving experiences, that being in nature is something that's a message for each and every one of us. Okay, so if you're new here, I'm Catherine, and this is Fish Out of Water Tarot, which is my effort to connect with people who are shy or introverted, or maybe consider themselves socially awkward. It's certainly true with me. As much as I loved to be with people and I enjoy my friends, the fact is that that I have inborn introversion that keeps me quiet at times when I really need to be more social, and so I'm working on that. Yes, Miraculous, I have you on the list. If you're here for the first time, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. Just drop a comment, and I'll be glad to read you a card here as we go forward today. And if you come back, it means the world to me that you are finding these readings helpful. So thank you. The best thing you can do is hit the thumbs up and subscribe so that YouTube recognizes that this is a valuable use of your time. So with no further ado, let's go to Jahan. Jahan, let's see what's happening for you today. What is the angel message? And we have spirit animal. It is kind of a theme that's happening today because first we're having the call to recognize the miracle of nature, which always is uplifting. And now, Shahan, we're looking at the idea of using the, hi, Angelo, let me just put you down there. But for Jahan, there is something around the animals that are showing up for you in your life. Okay, so let's see. Oh, okay, I just have to, I'm writing names down, so I don't want to get lost. So this is what I love to do. And Jahan, this is your task. This is your project. Be careful to notice the animals that cross your path today. If it's a sparrow, if it's a chipmunk, if it's a squirrel, a lizard, whatever is true wherever you live, be mindful of the animals that you see. Then what you do is go to Google and Google up whatever it is that you see. If you see a rabbit, you just Google, what is the spiritual meaning of rabbit? There is no question that, Shahan, you are going to get a wonderful private message from the divine when you notice the animal that crosses your path and then look it up. There, again, the message today so far has been that nature has a cure for us. Being outside in nature brings us closer to who we were born to be. Okay, quick little message for you, Jahan, today. I hope that you'll email me, by the way. My email address is in the description. It's tarotinfo@gmail.com. And I would love to know if you have questions or if any of these cards resonate with you. I introduce you to Murphy, who is entertaining us with his barking. And now we're going to go to Dorcas. And Dorcas, thank you so much for being here today and holding your concern in your mind. Let's see what the angels have for you. And we have Live Your Joy. Okay, so Dorcas, you know what? Sometimes when you are experiencing joy in your life, and the people in your life are not so joyful, it can be difficult because you might even feel sad in your joy because the people around you can't appreciate it with you. So what this is showing me is that you just have to walk forward unafraid and don't be concerned if the people in your life seem a little jealous or not supportive. You can always tell us here on my channel about the things that are, somebody is driving up to my door here, so I think they're coming to my door. No. Yes. So hold on just for a second. I'll be right back. Back up, guys. Thank you. I'll take them in. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. So that was somebody that came to my door with a bag of dog food for me. Now, this is such an example of how the universe has taken care of my needs over many years now. I mean, it's close to 20 years that I've been living, attracting the exact right thing to my life. And so here this lady pulls up and gives me a bag of expensive dog food, more expensive than I usually use. Murphy, that's good news. But honestly, as I've learned to stay calm and receptive and to not get overly worried about stupid shit, I'm sorry, the universe continues to bless my life. I kind of love that that happened because I have this situation, Dorcas, sorry for that interruption, where when good things happen, some of my friends and neighbors kind of growl at me or like, well, it never happens to me. How come you're so lucky? I can't explain. That's why I'm here doing these readings. I can't explain how lucky I am, but the more I press in and allow my natural personality to shine, even though it might be too much for some people, I'm manifesting really cool things. So thank you, neighbor, for the dog food. And don't be afraid to stand out. Dorcas, you know what? The people in our lives need to see what it looks like to be a successful manifester, to be able to, I mean, how do you explain the lady giving me the dog food? No explanation. She just stopped by to drop it off. Now, for those of you that are wanting to have a soulmate or you're waiting for love, wouldn't it be nice if your next lover was delivered to the door? That probably is not going to happen. Probably you do need to go out. However, I have to tell you, I do have a friend who started to date her UPS guy who came to the door with a package. So you never know. So let's go to Miraculous. Miraculous, I'm so glad that you're here live today. I know that you've been a supporter of the recording, so thank you very much. I have a gazillion itty bitty recordings, quick little tarot readings on my channel. I'm up to almost 800 now. So if you look for your sign, you're going to find some messages. Also, you guys will notice that I do use something I call your daily card. So every day I try to post a mini reading for your upliftment. All right, and all I ask of you is hit the thumbs up, you guys. So let's take a look at Miraculous. And Miraculous, ooh, okay, the inner voice. It is nice when you tune in a reading like this and there's resonance, so you feel a sense of, what's the good word? Like you're part of the group because you too love animals, you love nature, and you may have been resonating with several of these cards. That happens a lot. That's just proof to me of the law of attraction because like people tend to gather together. But I believe, Miraculous, what you are facing today is the battle between asking for advice and listening for readings like you're doing right now and trusting your inner voice. So I think for this week, what the universe is calling you to is to explore your intuition and to explore what it is that you are sensing in your environment. The inner voice often speaks, in fact, most of the time, speaks through your body. For example, if you get a cold sweat when something frightens you and your body gets cold, or when your knees go weak when you hear some news, there's a kind of a cringe where you can feel yourself tighten up and squeeze when you're frightened or when you're angry or when you're fearful. And so what I think would be helpful for you, Miraculous, is just pay attention. If you get goosebumps, if you get shivers, or if you feel a cringe on the inside, just to recognize that your intuition is learning to get your attention. I didn't realize in my own body that goosebumps have a message up until I was 50 years old, which was a little while ago now. If I get goosebumps, I thought it was because I was cold. That was it. But I came to learn that goosebumps are a message from the universe for me that mean stop and pay attention. The goosebumps don't mean anything greater than that. It's just stop and pay attention. Murphy, we have a dog walking by. It's just so noisy. Everything's happening today. But in a way, him alerting like that with the bark, I feel like that's what your call, Miraculous, okay? So this week, be sure to pay attention to your inner senses. And if something happens that's uncomfortable, use it as, wait, stop. What's going on right now? What is the most logical choice? Okay, so thank you, Miraculous, for being here today live, and I hope that the rest of the cards are a benefit also. Okay, so let's go to my next person, which is Antonio. lead, I think. So let's take a peek here at Antonio. Let's see what the angel prayer is for you to do. You're excellent, miraculous, good for you. And let me know. Be sure, you guys, I'd love to receive your emails. I'd love to understand how these messages hit you and what's going on for you. It helps me formulate the future readings. You are so welcome. So remember, you are more than welcome to email me at tarotinfoplease@gmail.com. The details are in the description. And so, Antonio, let's see what we have. If you're new here and you haven't visited me before, I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot, and we are always on a mission to find more loving connections in our life. So let's take a peek. And we have forgiveness. Antonio, I'm glad that this card is coming out because the ability to release other people from um, to release other people that have hurt our feelings. I love when I look at this angel, Angel Jeremiah or Jeremiel. It might be a good idea. Jot this name down, Antonio. And you might want to Google this angel because there may be a separate message that you'll find online. But this figure, I noticed the dark outfit, the dark cape, and the dark hood, and then just the lining peeking out. See the white along the edges. This to me shows the very reality of dealing with hurt feelings. When someone has hurt you, betrayed you, or let you down, it can be very painful. There's no doubt about it. And as a positive thinker, as someone who wants to manifest, it can almost feel wrong to be upset because we're supposed to hold a positive energy. But if somebody has hurt your feelings, it's a real injury. Why? Because there have been times in your life where people have hurt your feelings, probably ever since you were about 3 years old. And all of the misunderstood feelings from lifetimes is like a pool deep within your being. And so right now, if somebody hurts your feelings as an adult, it reminds you of the times in the past. So there's always this mix of positive and negative that's true, and we need to deal with it. So my favorite way of dealing with people that have hurt my feelings is to write names on a list. Just get out a piece of paper and ask yourself, who's hurt my feelings in the last year or two? And just jot down their names one after another. And then ask yourself this question: what does this remind me of? Were there times in the past that yes, Jasmine, I have you. Are there times in the past that remind you that the same sort of thing has happened? And add those names to your list. And then what we want to do, High Kind Heart, is to allow yourself to let go of those people that have hurt your feelings, okay? And so I'm writing down names here too, you guys, to get you on the list. Thank you for signing in. And be sure to hit the thumbs up if you're enjoying this reading so that we all are part of the same energy. At any rate, once you've written down your list, if you can just make a decision, hi Anne, if you can make a decision to let go of these hurt feelings just even a little bit, like 1/10 of the hurt feelings. And then what you do is you crunch up your paper. If you feel it's safe, you can light it on fire. I like to do that. Otherwise, you can just crush it and throw it away as a symbol of your letting go of those hurt feelings. So Antonio, I hope that that message is helpful for you. I know for me personally, I don't like to think about the negatives that have happened in my life, but I do recognize that it makes room for more to come into my life when I let go of the past. Okay, so thank you very much for being here this morning. If you're new to me, I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot. I do have lots of readings on the channel that you can tune into by your astrological sign. But on Sundays, we just get together to draw cards for the general collective on how to attract more love, how to feel more connected, especially if you're shy or feel a little bit socially awkward. And so if you are needful of that kind of information, you're in the right spot. So let's go on to Yasmin. Yasmin, welcome. Let's just, as you're sitting and waiting, thinking about the issue that you want to have support, let's draw an angel prayer card for you. Welcome to those of you who are new and you've not seen me before. I'm so glad to have you visiting. If you just put a note into the comments, I'm happy to draw you an angel card today. So Yasmin, oh gosh, look at that, trustworthy friends. So what I see here, Yasmin, is that you are that trustworthy friend. You're a person who people feel comfortable with. I'm going to have some barking here because welcome to my doggy party. Hey, Murphy, Murphy, come here. Okay, so, all right, so anyway, here we're looking, and I got interrupted, but moving forward, you are a person that people enjoy having you as their friend, and you are the trustworthy friend for other people. But now it's like your turn. It's like, how do you find a trustworthy friend for you? Like, how can you be as trustworthy as you are to your friends? I know that kind of sounds complicated, but I feel like you need to release yourself. You need to release yourself to develop. I'm writing names on Liz. Hello, redhead. To release yourself to how can I say it? Oh, like you need to be less careful with who you pick. Take risks. Okay, there's something that's been holding you back in terms of attracting someone who's trustworthy, even though you are trustworthy. So I think the reading that we just had for Antonio, the idea of listing and just kind of doing an audit of the people who've disappointed you, people who have not been trustworthy. Because I'm getting the feeling that you've got some barriers built up, some protection around your heart, where you're actually preventing new people coming in because of betrayal from the past. So I would do that same procedure as Antonio. Just go ahead and jot down the people, the significant breakups that you've had, and just create a space in your own mind to release them once again. This is something that can be difficult because disappointments from past love can be in the way. But I would take a look at the channel. I do have a couple of, yeah, thank you, Yasmin. I do have some videos from the other angel readings that might be helpful for you. And be sure to reach out if you feel really stuck and you can't move forward. I do have a blog that is out there. It's called breakupcandy.com. You can find Breakup Candy because that is articles that I wrote about finding a little bit of sweet in every breakup that you've experienced in order to move on. Because no matter if it's a friend or a boyfriend or girlfriend, some partner, there was something good about them before the negatives happened. So be sure to email me if you have questions about this. I have a sense that this has been kind of a deep issue for you, Yasmin. So don't hesitate to reach out. tarotinfoplease@gmail.com. Let me know what's going on. So I would say that you deserve to find a trusting partner, and that in a way you know better than most what it feels like to depend on somebody and then have them let you down. And yet we do need to reach out and try once again. Next, we're going to Kind Heart. And don't be surprised if you all are hearing messages that as I pull a card for someone else, that you will feel it's your message, because we're all connected. That's how the universe works. We're drawing like-hearted people to one of these videos, that we all have similar issues and needs. So Kind Heart, I love your name, Kind Heart. Thank you for being here. I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot. If you're here for the first time, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping in, spending your time with me. And those of you who repeat and come here time and again, you have no idea how much it means to me, and I love feeling the connection. All I want from you is to hit that thumbs up and join me by hitting the subscribe button. So, kind heart, let's see what we have for you in the angel prayers. Oh, this is a good message. I think, oops, ooh, jumped right out of my hand. I think that when you are looking to advance, so you are looking to advance yourself in personal development, you're looking for answers. It could have to do with career, could have to do with family, or perhaps a partner. But the reality of learning to speak your truth is completely supported. Now, what's interesting is that the throat chakra, which is blue, a lot of times when these cards come up, you'll see a lot of blue in the image, but what we're seeing here is that lavender. And so lavender is a color of spiritual development, those higher chakras that are connecting us to the divine. So what it's showing me here is that's really important for you, kind heart, to I've got your red beard. I thought I said redhead. I got your red beard. But back over here to kind heart. You have been keeping secrets mainly because to protect yourself, and in spiritual development's probably been super important to you. In fact, ever since you started to find personal development, you found connection. In fact, even on a call like this, I keep calling it a call, the video that we're doing, you feel connected to some of the previous cards and to my voice, and there's a connection. So you cannot deny the energy that's been developing in your life. And you can't deny that maybe what you're sensing now is different from the religious background that you had when you were a little kid. But being able to speak your truth lovingly is really going to help you get into new groups and new connections. So my advice to you, when you're sensing a little bit of doubt or you feel unsure about expressing yourself, you might want to grab a blue stone like a sodalite or a lapis lazuli, or azurite is another beautiful, beautiful blue stone. You can wear it around your neck like on a pendant. You can also wear blue to strengthen the vibration of that throat chakra. But you deserve to have people in your life who vibrate, who resonate with your beliefs. It'll make you feel more comfortable. But in order to do that, you have to talk about them. So take a deep breath, realize that you are called. There's something in you that's needing to be expressed. And I would Google Archangel Gabriel and see if there's further advice for you there. Okay? Thank you, kind heart, for being here. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. Again, I'm Catherine, the Fish Out of Water Tarot. Welcome every Sunday. I jump on and do a few live readings to connect. You're welcome, kind heart. Thank you so much for being here. And let's go to Anne. Hey, Anne, holding on to your question or what you want to hear. Let's just pull a card. Okay, Anne. So this is Archangel Chamuel, and as I have said to people in the call so far, to go ahead and Google Archangel Chamuel and receive even a more deep message. And if the message is particularly meaningful, you can add it to the comments on this video, because there are other people who need this blessing. How do we open our heart after painful breakups or disappointments? It's been kind of a theme throughout this set of readings, that there does seem to be a theme of heartbreak, disappointment, and broken dreams that are part of this reading. I'm just picking that energy up from many of the people that are on the call. And so we are not supposed to close everything off with every hurt. Sometimes I think of little children, and they, if a little 2-year-old or it falls down, for example, and skins the little knee, no adults in the room say, "Oh, poor little thing, they'll never walk again. They've skinned their knee." No, not at all. there's an expectation of healing. The little child gets up and goes running off to play with something else, even though they have a skinned knee. Unfortunately, with emotions, it's not quite so easy. And when you have emotional heartbreak, it can create a strong desire to build a wall and keep everything out because it feels safer. But you can get to be like in your late 20s or early 30s, and all of a sudden, that wall that you've built is not working anymore because it's lonely in there. So there's some work involved to open your heart. And there are some wonderful teachers online that can help you. One of the teachers that I really love is a lady named um, um, what's her name? Choquette. Her last name is Choquette, and I can't remember her first name right now. But I'll put it into the. Let me write myself a note. She writes wonderful videos about intuition and following your heart. And I'm just feeling that, Sonia, thank you, kind heart. Bless your heart. Thank you. This is true teamwork. Sonia Choquette. She's a beautiful woman. She is a very successful teacher and coach, but look her up on YouTube because I think that her material might help you with steps for opening your heart. I do this kind of work with people. I would love to support anyone who is struggling to get over a breakup. It's part of what I do is use the cards for that. And if you're really stuck, email me. Murphy says yes. Hey, Murphy, come here. Listen to him. He talks like a Siamese cat. Anyway, email me tarotinfo please at gmail.com if you want some information on that. And please do check, yeah, right, Redbird, the dog, Murphy I have two dogs. Bella's usually a little quieter, but Murphy's always got something to say. And sometimes that reminds me of our inner mind. I mean, you can have this grouchy, negative part of your own personality that interrupts your thinking and reminds you of past hurt. And part of getting over things is learning how to quiet that voice. Okay, so I hope that that was helpful for you, Anne. I know that I am in a place where I need to open my heart. My heart right now, I need to open to my blood family because I've built up some resistance, some protective behaviors with my siblings and, with my children. I want for them to be okay, and yet I live kind of a counterculture life. And so if they don't understand me, I can't sacrifice what my call is on my life. And so even when Murphy barks, part of me thinks this recording won't be perfect because Murphy's barking, and I have to release that and just allow life to unfold. And now what's happening, you guys can't see, is that my older dog Bella, she makes a face at Murphy and then makes him bark. And then I yell at Murphy, and Bella has this look on her face of nanner nanner. Anyway, I just hope you understand the drama. Now, if I put my hand down, Murphy's licking my hand and I can make him be quiet. Why I'm telling you all that, I have no idea. Okay, let's go to Redbeard. Hi, Redbeard. Let's just draw a card for you. Thank you for being here. What card is good? Hey, Murphy. Shh. Okay. And honor your beauty. You know what? I love this. You're welcome. Again, I'm passing the message along for people who didn't hear me before. Be sure to Google Archangel Jophiel. I cannot tell you how many people rave about the bonus reading that comes right through your own computer through Google. But this message strikes me today. I'm noticing the green in the wings and the green in the background. This really is a heart energy card. And so what it makes me think immediately, Redbeard, is that you do have some tendency to be hard on yourself, a tendency to be critical of yourself when you're doing things. I'm going to use a hard word, but a sense of rigidity, that if your own performance or your own output isn't perfect, that it disappoints you. I'm getting a sense, if I don't know if this makes sense, but like maybe when you were young, if you drew something or if you created something, you would wreck it, you would crunch it up because it wasn't perfect. And the people in your life, this is such a specific message, but the people in your life might say, oh, why did you do that? That's fantastic. But there's a tendency to downplay or see your own production of things as less than they are. And I think that this split could be connected to your physical appearance also. I can remember when I was young, I had freckles and I did not like my freckles. I didn't, and I would try to scrub them off my face. You know, it's like, what were they doing there? The other kids in the class didn't have freckles and I had to scrub it off. So I feel like there's part of you that needs to be recognized. It might not be your physical experience, excuse me, your physical appearance, but I have a sense that there's a part of your personality or a part of your career or your appearance that needs your self-acceptance. Many times I think when people, oh, no worry, Redbeard. I think when people are seeking companionship, a new career, they're continually looking for something. Part of the root of that is self-acceptance. Now, I can always recommend one of my favorites, Louise Hay. Love her so much, and she has work on the inner child, and there's a meditation for the inner child. I would run, don't walk to listen to some of that material, because if there's a part of you, in fact, for me too, a part of my personality that's hard for me to accept, when I listen to inner child meditations, it really does help me to continue to let go of my past so I can move forward into my future. So I hope that that's resonant for you, Redbeard. And anybody else, if you'd like a reading, just drop a comment. I'm happy to draw a card for you. And Anne, and you're a Libra dealing with a Taurus. So when you're looking at, okay, so let me look at your card. Oh, okay. So your card being the open your heart card, Anne, I would say again, listen to that reading again. I'm going to put a link to the timestamp so you can go back and easily listen to this again. But it's just showing that in order to have the wisdom to know what to do with your person. Okay, now this is not a private reading, and I don't have that ability to plug in because of the distraction of the collective here. But what this shows me is that when you open your heart to your own needs, I would definitely Google Archangel Chamuel, but you need to plug into your own wisdom and your own guidance to know what it is that's best for you to do. Okay, so go back and listen again to the reading, follow the advice as best as you can. And if you would like more personal guidance, I'm happy to provide that for you. Just definitely email me so we can take this to a different venue. Okay, and it's tarot info, please, at gmail.com. You're welcome, Redbeard. Thank you so much for taking time out today and coming to visit me. I really, and being patient with my dogs barking in the background. I really appreciate that. So I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot for the people who feel like a fish out of water sometimes and can't really find a way to fit into society or culture the way everybody expects you to. I know when in this world after COVID, I kind of enjoyed being isolated because I have a hermit energy and I enjoy that. But now that it's everybody's coming out and being public, some of the people like me with a little bit of anxiety over social situations struggle a little bit, but we really do want to be in companionship with people who get us. And that's what is my heart. So let me just draw a card. I'm going to draw another card for the collective here and see what the angels have to say. If you're shy and you're watching, hey, Gail, welcome. You've been here before, haven't you, Gail? I am happy to draw you a card. So Gail, go ahead and hold your question in your mind. And let's see what the angels have for you. This deck, by the way, is by Kyle Gray, and I own like 3 of his decks. I really love to use them for the readings. I'm hoping you enjoy them too. And so I love Archangel Sandalphon. welcome, welcome. I love Archangel Sandalphon. It's something I'm not an angel expert, so I'm not going to try to claim that I know all the symbolism. But do, Gail, please Google Archangel Sandalphon and get the extra private message that you'll find. But I feel like sometimes, Gail, isn't it the truth that you wonder if heaven has heard your prayer, right? You've prayed the prayer. In fact, let me pass this on to you. Somebody gave me a great tip, and I can't remember who, about how to pray for people that you love. Because a lot of times the pain that your person is in, like their choices have put them in a difficult situation. And how do you pray? Because if the divine is behind it, chances are there's some spiritual growth that's happening for that person and that you don't know how to pray. So what this person said is, you imagine that you're standing right behind your person, whispering in their ear, "You can do it. I've got your back." And that just that alone, pretending that you're whispering in your person's ear, "Don't worry, it's all going to be okay. Everything always works out." That kind of generic cheerleading can be very effective. First of all, it comforts your own heart because it's more imaginal, and imaginal activities are better than mental activities. Having a thought about it is not as strong as creating that mental picture where you're whispering in the person's ear. And then you got to let it go. You have to trust that heaven has heard your prayer. Okay? And so if your mind brings back an idea that says, how do I know God, that the divine heard my prayer? How do I know that something good is going to happen? That you address that part of yourself and say, I prayed, it's done, I'm trusting the divine. Okay, so write that down, Gail. I prayed, it's done, I'm trusting the divine. And then it's like the training for us who are learning to manifest and wanting to change our thinking, because thoughts produce things. What you think about manifests, right? What you think about, you bring about. So if worry comes back about your loved one or whoever you're prayed for, you need the discipline, Gail, you're sure welcome, but you need the discipline to say to your own mind, I prayed, it's done, and all is well. Louise Hay, I love her so much, and she says, in this moment, all is well, and I am fine, or some rendition of that, because it's true. In this moment, in this very moment, you're here listening to this reading. It is okay right now. You're breathing, you're enjoying the connection. So the truth is, you have the ability to change your focus. Another really good book to have in your library is the book Ask and It Is Given by Abraham Hicks, because it's filled with processes and techniques to distract your mind. Some of you have heard me in the past talk about an author named Pam Grout, who wrote a book called E Squared. Very easy to remember, E Squared, write it down. She has 9 energy experiments that are so practical and easy to do, and they'll help you see that coincidences are bigger than just random. Things happen when you start to take responsibility for your own heart and your own feelings. Some of you may have come to this video a little bit later. Hey, R. Fleming, thank you for being here again. I love seeing you back. Some of you weren't here in the early part of this video when I had to interrupt the video because somebody brought me dog food, a bag of expensive dog food that they didn't want. And they randomly pulled up to my apartment right here during this reading. I bet the dog food's probably $25 a bag, no lie. And they gave it to me. And I had to interrupt the reading with barking dogs to receive this gift. And I love that that happened, because you guys, the universe is ready to deliver some very good things to you. But if you're focused, like let's say you want a soulmate and all you're thinking is soulmate, 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 they're not here yet, they're not here yet, they're not here yet, you're going to miss opportunities for some small, seemingly insignificant gifts. But this bag of dog food is not insignificant, and I'm glad it happened here. So back over to you, Gail. So what I feel like for you is just this importance of prayer and release, prayer and release. And it's habit. Okay, so check into Ask and It Is Given. You could do a Google search on, you could do a Abraham Hicks focus wheel. And what's the other one that I like? The focus wheel is a good one because it really is about, oh, you can Google pivoting. So you can Google Abraham Hicks on YouTube doing a video on pivoting because that'll help you a ton. We are responsible for our own minds. We're not responsible for the circumstances because life happens and we cannot control conditions. Write that down. You cannot control conditions. If a tornado goes through your town, that's a condition you can't change, okay? But you can change your attitude about it and how you think about it. Gratitude will always be a strong, positive vibration that will change things for you. And you'll hear that over and over again. As a matter of fact, I mentioned Pam Grout before and her book, Thank and Grow Rich, instead of Think and Grow Rich. She wrote a whole book on gratitude and how to manifest with gratitude. And guess what? For some reason, she interviewed me and put part of my story in that book. I didn't, Bella, stop teasing him. I didn't ask to have my information put into a book. I didn't know Pam Grout at the time. I did get to meet her, but she chose my story to be in her gratitude book. Again, random, or is it random? Or can you get on a divine path where you are shown the way? Like Hansel and Gretel, little breadcrumbs along my path of life that I just keep walking forward no matter what happens. Okay, R. Fleming, welcome back. Thank you guys for coming back. Those of you who are brand new here, I so appreciate your spending your time with me. I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot. Hi, Tyrese. It's welcome. I will get you here in a moment. Got you on the list. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up, for supporting me, for the love. I come here to feel connected to other fish out of water people, and it makes my heart so warm to meet you and to be able to assist you. So please, if you feel like you want to write back to me, I love getting emails from y'all, and it's tarotinfoplease@gmail.com. Details in the description below. So R. Fleming, let's draw a card, and then Therese, you'll be next. And I just have a little bit of time. I'm going to cut out here after an hour. So if you do want a reading, don't wait. Put your name in there. Okay, so tiaras. Oh, that's pretty. Thank you. Tiaras, like tiara. I love that little princess energy there. Tiaras. Thank you. Thank you for the phonetic pronunciation. Okay, so here we are. R. Fleming, have you been listening to enough music? Do you have an instrument that you haven't played for a while? Do you, I love that 80s music. There's a person, I can't remember, I think it's Rep to the Rhythm. It's a walking, he does walking videos here on YouTube, and I adore them. And let me put that down. I'll put it in the first comment to resources, because they play 80s music and stuff, and I use it for my walking, for my 2-mile walk with my dogs, and I love it. But connect with music. Okay, I'm getting distracted. So R. Fleming, for sure, music is a medicine. Okay, so write that down. Music is medicine. There's times when you could choose to have music and you choose to do something else, whether it's reading or having YouTube going or watching a video, but you're going to find your answer with music. It might be meditation music. YouTube is filled with good music to listen to. But I would say that whatever's been troubling you, that I notice here that there is not a named angel, right? Angels are very connected to music. It's almost as if angelic energy can penetrate the soul with music. So whatever it is that you're facing, R. Fleming, take time. I would say 10 minutes at least every day to spend some time with some music. A couple of ideas is you can go back and make a playlist on YouTube or Spotify, whatever you use, and get the music from when you were 14, 15 years old, whatever year that was, and collect 5 or 6 songs from that time. And then as you listen to them, just pay attention. What goes on in your body? Do you get goosebumps? Do you get a lump in your throat? Do you get memories? What happens? A lot of times the things that happen to us right around that 13 to 16 can kind of set off a habit of self-protection, because so much that happens to us at that age is hard to process. I mean, you feel grown up and yet you still have childlike interests. The music that we listen to during that particular time can be very impactful. You might cry, you might laugh, but it's a good way to crack or break open things that are holding you back from the past. All right, R. Fleming, does that make sense for you? Try a little music therapy. Be sure to let me know how that works for you. You guys know I'll be back next week. And so when you do come back, if there's some advice that you got that worked, share it with us, because we all can profit. Okay. So music is your medicine, R. Fleming. So I will look forward to hearing what happens. Those of you who are new here, I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot. I will post this with timestamps. So I will put the name of each of the cards, and you can just tap and listen to any of those readings and listen to your own again. Yes, the playlist for next week. Yeah, I love the playlist idea. I was so surprised. I know the lyrics, like the 14, when I made my playlist, I'm not going to tell you what year it was because I don't have to, but when I made the playlist from when I was 14, I knew the lyrics. The music just penetrated to the bone. And the time I listened, the first time I was walking on the beach in Mexico and I was alone. It was just a very isolated beach. And I was singing those songs to the top of my lungs outside in nature. And remember, we had nature speak to us as the theme for today's reading. So music is a medicine for sure. So now we have Tiaras, a beautiful name, Tiaras. Thank you. It looks like yours might be the last reading of the day. So let's pick a good one. Is there a Virgo in your life, Tiaras, who's giving you a headache? I don't know why, but I just think that could be going on. So, oh, Archangel Orion. Okay, I love Orion. Orion is a constellation, and it shows up at a certain time of year where I live, and you can see it. Do you have a Virgo far out? That's when stuff like that happens, it makes me just laugh out loud, because the cards, the divine knows what it's doing. But there is, okay, let me just take a second look at this. Oh, I love Orion. So what I would do is check in your night sky, just Google where you live and see what time of day Orion comes into the sky. And it might be that it's not visible at this time of year for you, but Orion has some wonderful legends and stories. And again, Google is so fun because you can get further wisdom from this. And so now that I look at this card, this is a mysterious card. There's a dark figure here, and with that light. So for you, I feel that Tiaras, I feel like you are needing a miracle, that you're wanting, that I feel like I keep thinking of the word disguise when I'm looking at this, like a mask or a disguise. And the card is completely blue, which is that throat chakra. So I feel like the energy is around creating a miracle in your situation right now. You're the center player because it's your life, but there is this sense of disguise here that I keep seeing, and the mask is made of starlight and it's hard. Hang on, let me just feel into this a little bit. Being able to speak your truth may be your miracle. Okay, and maybe you have been holding back because you weren't sure what to say or how to free yourself from a difficult situation. And maybe you are holding a piece of yourself in disguise, even from yourself. One of the therapies, I use that word, I'm not a therapist, but one of the remedies that I've used for myself when I'm not sure is looking right into a mirror and saying the truth of what I'm believing. So I'll look myself right in the face in the mirror and say, I'm 100% comfortable being with a person who does not prioritize me. That's just an example, because sometimes if you're with someone who has a public presence or they get a lot of attention from their career or from other people, you're not going to be their priority. If you are involved with a person who has children from another marriage, you are not going to be a priority of those children. And it's fine. Lots of couples are mismatched in terms of career or that attention to children. If that's your karma, if it's okay for you to be in that situation, when you look in the mirror and say it to yourself, you'll feel affirmed. For example, let me give you an example. I had a woman I was working with. She was in her 50s, late 50s. She'd never been married, and she really wanted to be married. I mean, that was her thing, her soulmate, her soulmate. And we worked together for several months. We worked on moving energy, reading cards, and I was supporting her in how to attract a soulmate. Well, one day it occurred to me to use the word wife. And I said to her, I want you to go to the mirror and look yourself right in the mirror and say to yourself, I am 100% comfortable being a wife. Well, she came back to the next session and she said, guess what happened? I couldn't say that. She said, when I looked in the mirror and I tried to say, I'm 100% confident in being a wife, the words wouldn't come out. So what we realized is she doesn't want to be married. She just wants a committed relationship. Why is that important? Because she's hetero, so the men that she was dating were attracted to someone who wanted a wife because she wanted to be married. And so it started to make sense to her that it was like she was fishing in the wrong pond, but it had to start with her. So the thing she could say while she's looking in the mirror was, I'm 100% confident I want a connection, a sustainable connection with a partner. She could look herself right in the eye. I'm 100% sure I want a sustainable connection with a loving partner. She could say that, but she couldn't say, I'm confident being a wife. So this is what I mean. It's like, I feel like if you start telling yourself the truth, and I'm going to say your name carefully, Tierras, as you tell yourself the truth, you're going to be able to unmask your own true desires and move in the direction you need to. When we're frozen in place, we cannot hear from our intuition. This is a time where a private reading might be exactly what the doctor ordered. If you feel stuck and you can't get unstuck, there's gazillions of tarot readers online. You can pick any of them. Well, some of them don't offer private readings, but there's tons that do. So when you get stuck, don't hesitate to reach out. If you hear somebody's voice on a reading like this and you think, maybe she has an answer. Well, I don't have the answers, but the cards do. So don't be shy about reaching out for help if you need it. So thank you so much, you guys. This has been such a great hour. I'm going to cut it now because I do have some things I need to get to. I will be here every Sunday morning as I try working my schedule around me and my dogs. I'm going to go open this bag of dog food that somebody gave me. This is not cheap dog food. And no kidding, somebody dropped it off at my house for me and my dogs, which I love. And so it's just an example of how when you're in the flow, the universe is dying to bring you stuff. The universe is breaking its neck to bring you stuff, but you have to look for it, be grateful, and wait for it to happen for you. Meanwhile, pay it forward. Be a good tipper. In Pam's book on gratitude, Thank and Grow Rich, one of her experiments is to give money away. And I've told this on other calls. Just take $5, put it in your pocket, 5 single dollar bills. And when you go out and about, give people $1 and just say, it's your lucky day. Don't spend it all in one place. And they'll laugh and they'll be shocked. It's a reverse energy to give what you don't have a lot of. Some people can afford to give $10 a piece to people. I have given a lot of money to about 3 people. I've given a stunning sum because I had it and I just felt so impressed to give it to the person because, as you guys know, I love Pam Grout. Her definition of wealth is the ease and freedom to be generous, right? So that means you can be wealthy with a penny and give that penny away. But it's a great, it's kind of, I want to use a naughty word, but it's like a mind fork. It's like it's crazy that you give away what it is that you're wanting and that it works. So anyway, let me draw one more card to close our session. And thank you so much for your attention. Again, if you're new here, I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot, and I love, love, love to share the cards with y'all. Okay, so excellent, Metatron. Metatron, I read recently, it says that Metatron sits at the right hand of God, of Father God. And when I saw that, I was impressed. I'm like, whoa, what is that, Metatron? And it makes me want to Google again. Google these angels, get yourself a private reading. How do you do that? Because when you Google Metatron and read the article that pops up on Google, it's as if you are tapping into that wisdom for yourself. We do need to keep our vibes fresh. It's like getting a manicure, getting a pedicure, getting readings is a way to clear your energy and doing it on a regular basis. For example, if you have a car, you don't just change the oil one time in the car's life. It's constant upkeeping. It's being able to take responsibility for your vibe. If your mood is low, we know that music will lift your spirits. And so music is medicine is one of the messages for today. And I believe that this card supports it, the vibration of music and Archangel Metatron to help us keep our energy clear. So ask him when you are feeling low this week. Ask Metatron, write it down. Sometimes you think, oh, I can't remember these things from the readings. Well, take a little note for yourself. Google Metatron. There's probably a meditation from Metatron on YouTube somewhere. But take responsibility for your vibe this week. If you slip into despair, disappointment, fear, or doubt, know that it's common. We're human. And take that path. Use music as your medicine. Pray for people. Remember early in the reading, I was mentioning that a cool way to pray for people is to simply imagine yourself standing behind your person, whisper in their ear, you're going to be okay. Everything always works out. There's something very powerful about praying that way because it's an imaginal act. And when we use our imagination, we are close to the divine, the creator. So thank you guys. Love you so much. Thank you for being here with me today. Hit that thumbs up. It lets Google know that, or excuse me, it lets YouTube know that you enjoy these live streams. And I will be back sometime midweek. I will do a live stream just as a spontaneous surprise, but you guys can always plan on me on Sunday mornings. So biggest hug to all y'all. Invite your friends, come back for the party, have coffee with me next week. And I just send you all abundant love and the biggest hug. Now I'm off to walk the doggies and work on some projects this afternoon. Thank you for reaching out. Send me an email. It's in the description below. I love you so much. Thank you for being part of my tarot life. Talk to you soon.